Welcome to Toad TV. I am Mary Beth.
Hi, I'm Helen.
And we are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow. And
Why are you taller than me?
My chair must be up higher.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's because, I don't know. I don't know. Stop slouching, Helen. So, can you tell what we're talking about today? We have to do this quickly because that has fallen several times.
Yeah.
So, today we are talking books. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Going over some that we've finished so far this year. That'd be something fun to do.
Okay.
All right. So, how have you guys been doing? We had a pretty good weekend. Busy.
Yes.
Very busy.
Thanks to you guys. So
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Saturday, we packed our little fingers to the bones. Okay? But everything that could go out went out Saturday.
Yeah, everything, the only things left are the pre-orders for the quilts. So
And one pre-order for yarn. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, our new way of doing things. It was
Look
very,
at
very
that.
nice. The orders came in, the orders went out.
Yeah.
So,
It was a great day. Not so
Um,
much for the mailman, but
hey, keeps them in business.
yes.
There were several questions about whether we would have more minis, because those did sell out fairly quickly. And just more of the DK
Right.
down the rabbit hole. We are redying everything this week, and there will be an update Friday.
Including every adventure starts with the first step, which is the blue and purple one. We are doing that in large skeins for you guys because lots of people asked about that.
Yeah, well, we're doing all the minis as large skeins.
Right. But we're doing lots of that one.
Right. And then redoing the minis and the Alice and the down the rabbit hole.
Also, we are going to be doing the 3 tonals. It's Always Tea Time, which was the Goldie colored one. Who Are You, which is the darker blue. And My Reality Is Not the Same as Yours, which is the pinky purple. We're doing all of them in mohair, too. So
Right.
that they're going to be in Hairy Toad as well.
So we'll also have more Harry in Alice.
Right.
So
So any of our tonals that we're doing from now on, we're going to be throwing in a couple of mohair.
unless they're really, really dark.
Right.
Because like Mr. Carrisford, we found that the darks don't do as well. The really
lights,
dark ones.
The lights look beautiful.
Oh my god, the lights are just ethereal.
Yeah.
But
And just wait till you see what's coming towards the end of
Yeah.
January, because we have planned out the next 3 weeks of dyeing, and we have a couple of new sets that are coming out.
we have new specials for. There's going to be one for the Knit and Escape show, and then there's going to be another special for the Stitches at Home show. They're both the same weekend, but
So,
2 different specials. So
That weekend, it's gonna be
there's going to
new
be a
colors.
lot of new stuff. Also, because also debuting will be February's Alice colors.
Right.
So
Lots and lots of stuff.
yeah,
Start saving
2
now.
shows, first weekend of February. We're just going to blow your minds for the
Right.
Super Bowl.
However, you guys get first dibs. We're gonna go
No.
show you first.
You have first dibs on Alice. That's it.
First dibs on the Alice. Oh, okay,
Right.
right. Okay, take that bit out. However, you guys get to see it first, so that we're going to show you everything first. You guys get first dibs on the Alice yarn. We're going to put that up for sale a little bit early, so you guys get first dibs on that. We're going to show you the colors, but you don't get to buy them until
Yeah, the
actual
show
shows.
specials are going on sale at the shows.
Right.
So
But you'll get to see them first. So stay tuned. It's very exciting. On our way up, we drove up to see my mom yesterday, and on our way, we were planning everything out.
very productive.
It was. It was. So
Yeah.
it was a good day. All right. So that was our weekend. Did you guys do anything fun? Did you
Oh
make
yeah,
anything?
we had a massive registration for COVID vaccine party.
Oh, that's right.
So we registered my mom for the COVID vaccine. We registered us for COVID. We registered my brother.
Got everybody lined up.
I mean, it means nothing except that we're in line.
Right.
So
We have no idea when, but we're on the list.
yeah, and that's what you get. You're on the list.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, we're on
At
the list.
least I'm on the list.
We got my mom on the list.
That's the big thing.
Sorry about that. In the continuing saga of what are we doing with the yard,
Right. We're having some trees removed.
2021 is beginning. So we have a man who is coming, not Trevor, because Trevor did not work out. However,
Trevor turned into a toad.
yes, and not the good toad. But anyway, we have somebody who is a little bit more established. He has a company that he's been working, his own company. He's been doing it for over 30 years. So he's coming tomorrow to clear out dead branches and some dead trees. And then we're going to talk about where we go from there. So we shall see how that goes. However, fingers crossed, this time it works.
Right.
Okay, so books. Shall we do books?
Let's do books.
Books, okay.
Oh, we had questions, right? No, we did the questions.
No, we did the questions.
No, we didn't do the questions.
Okay, so somebody wanted to know if I was going to quilt my quilt. By the way, guys, thank you so much for all your kind words about my quilt. I love it so much.
And the theme in general, and everybody showing up for the live event.
Yeah.
It was really fun. So
yeah, thank you.
Oh, and then the buying. That was also very fun.
Yes. My quilt. I am not going to quilt it. I am going to try and send it out. A friend of us gave us the name of a friend of ours gave us the name of someone local who does it. So we're going to reach out to him and see if he's available to do it. I know that I have to sew my backing pieces together so it's one big backing piece, and then I just need to know how he wants me to send it to him. So hopefully that will happen, and then I'm pretty sure I get to bind it.
Yes.
So I will be doing that, but we shall see.
Yeah.
We will keep you apprised on that. Okay.
Somebody asked if that was a service, and that is a service. There are a lot of people who own long arm quilting machines, and one of their ways of paying for it is that they offer their services, and they do the long arm quilting for you, so you don't have to do it all on your home machine.
If you were asking if that was a service that we provide, no, it is
Right.
not.
But
We've
it's
not gotten, Helen wants one, but we haven't gotten one yet.
I don't really. It's more. It's like it's a gadget, but
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do that. That's not the part that I enjoy. The piecing of the quilt.
Oh, yes.
Everything.
And after
else,
that, I want to hand it off.
right? And then it's just like, okay, give me a quilt back.
Seriously.
just doesn't.
I
interest
did
me.
the good part.
Right.
You get to do the fun, you know.
So yeah, that is a service. All you have to do if you're looking for it in your area is look up long arm quilting.
Or check with your local
Check with your quilter
fabric shop,
yeah.
you know, because they very often have the names of people who do it in the area.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10 they'll have at least one name for you, and sometimes they do it in the shop. Sometimes some of the local quilt shops have their own machines, and they will either do it for you or you can rent their machine and go do it yourself.
Yeah.
So
The other thing is look on Etsy for long arm quilting,
Right.
because there are tons of people who do it on Etsy.
Yeah.
And you can check out pricing and that kind of thing. We have no idea about it, so we are not
we haven't
experts on
done
that
it
at
yet.
all.
So
Something we're looking forward to.
yeah.
Okay. All right. There was that.
Colleen asked if she could purchase the panels from Mary Beth's quilt, the printed panels. We had not considered that, but yes, we are going to make a listing for the shop. That'll be part of Friday's update, and we will have a listing for the 4 panels. So they're 8.5 by 11 fabric sheets. There's a process to it, so they are $5 each, right?
Yep.
$5 each. So we will put them up.
But when you get them, they will be completely color fast. They will have been rinsed out and dried and everything
And
like that,
ironed,
so that
yeah.
you are ready to just start sewing with them. You don't
Yeah.
have to do anything
Oh,
else
no,
to
the
them.
process is all done by us.
Yeah, we will take care of that. Also, we should mention we're talking about all this dyeing and everything and all the colors that we're doing tomorrow. They will all be available in Friday's update. So we will be doing an update on Friday, right?
That's what I said, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know whether we had mentioned that.
Yeah, no, I said it was
Okay.
going to be Friday's update.
No, you had said the fabric, but I didn't
No,
know whether.
no, with the yarn, I said
With you
Fridays.
did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Never mind. Just obviously
She
not
doesn't
paying
pay,
attention to her at all.
I don't listen to her. She doesn't listen to me. It's fine.
And
works.
then the other thing somebody asked was, have we ever talked about Alice on the podcast? And not
other than
Alice in
passing,
Wonderland, no,
yeah.
we have not. So maybe we should do that sometime.
I'm going to have to reread it.
Yeah.
I read it in college for a seminar and loved it.
I don't think I've read it since I read it for the first time when I was like 10 or 11. I should reread it.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want a really, really good book that's dark, Alice by Christina Henry, wonderful. However, we talked about that last year, but it's a really, really good retelling that I loved. But dark. Okay, so on to other books, new books, books that we finished. Okay.
How many ways can you say books?
I get excited about books. What do you want? I have my journal. I have my books that I have finished. This is what I'm doing. I give them a book cover. This paper comes from a collection called Lady Vagabond by Stamperia, and I love it. It's all steampunky. But then I wrote about the book. See, I have 3 different books that I've already finished so far this year that I am prepared to talk about.
Okay. Go for it.
My first one is that I finished was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This is a book about a woman who is trying to run away from her life. She makes a deal with Luke, who is one of the old gods, and he promises her that she can escape, and she will live for a very, very long time. However, she will never be remembered. Nobody will ever remember her. And the thing is, when she walks out of your sight, you completely forget her. And one of the little twists that goes along with this is she cannot carry anything forward. So it's not like the vampires that can amass a fortune and save it and bring it forward so they're always rich. Whatever she has, the only thing she goes forward with are the clothes on her back. So she can't buy extra clothes and have them. They disappear overnight. She can't buy food and keep it. It disappears. The only thing she can do is have the clothes on her back.
Okay.
It's very, very interesting. It really is. And she goes along for over 300 years doing this. She knows that she can walk into a store, steal something, because by the time she's out the door, people will have forgotten that she was there. And this is how she lives her life going forward until she goes into a small bookstore and she walks out with a book, and rather than forgetting her, the man chases after her and says, "You can't steal the book." And when he sees the look on her face, he says, "Look, just go ahead, keep it." And she walks away, but she comes back the next day to return the book and get another one. And he says to her, "You know, you've got some guts coming back to do it 2 days in a row." And she realizes that not only did he remember her as she walked out the door, he remembered her through the night into the next day. And you figure out why he, out of everybody else, can remember her.
Okay.
It's very, very good. Really, really good. It goes back and forth in time. So if that's a problem, jumping back and forth, it does that a lot. But I thought it was really, really well done. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab.
Keep going.
Okay. My second one was on Audible that I finished, and that is Summer Island by Kristen Hanna. This is a story about a family. The mother, 11 years ago, the mother walked out and just walked out and left. And she became a very famous radio talk show host. She has a column in newspapers, and she is known for her moral and family advice. And her family, her 2 daughters, one of them has a tentative relationship with her, the other one hates her. And she gets into a car accident, and the younger one, the one that hates her, has to take care of her. And it's all about how can they repair their relationship and can they move forward from there. So it's a story about mothers, daughters, family life, what kids don't necessarily know about adult lives and things like that, the reasons she left, everything. It was very, very well done. I listened to it on Audible. I thought the Audible production was very, very good. I really, really enjoyed it. Kristen Hanna is one of those authors that if she writes something, I will read pretty much anything by her.
Yeah.
So I liked it very, very much. I really did enjoy that one a lot. I think I gave it 4 stars. I got kind of frustrated with the younger daughter, you know, since I'm not 28 or 29 and full of myself and sure that everybody is out to get me. I got kind of frustrated with her and wanted her to grow up a little bit. But other than that.
Okay.
It was a good book. Very, very good book. So that is my book 2. Am I going on
Just
still?
do it, and then because I
Okay.
just have the one.
All right, so then the third book I finished was Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield. I had started this in December of 2019. But then I restarted it in January because I hadn't done anything with it for over a year. And I loved her book, The 13th Tale, so I was really excited when we got it, but it kind of got pushed aside. And then I saw it on the shelf, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to finish that because I started it. It was interesting. She has a wonderful way with words.
She's not an easy read. She's an enjoyable read, but she's not an easy read.
There are a lot of words that she uses. This book could have been a lot shorter. However, I enjoy the way she writes so much that I didn't mind.
Right.
I really didn't mind at all. And the whole story is, it's based at a pub on the Thames. And it all revolves around the river. The river is almost one of the main characters. And at this point in time, it's the winter solstice. The regulars are at the pub. They're telling stories because that's what they do. And a man walks in, half dead, carrying a child. And the child appears to be dead. And she's about 4 years old, a little girl, about 4 years old. He passes out. They try and revive him. It takes a while for him to come back. To revive him and everything, because he got banged up very badly. And there's a woman there who's a nurse. They take her temperature, they take her pulse, everything. They figure she's dead. However, she comes back to life. This is all in and around the time when photographs were just beginning to start. The photographers were just starting to take pictures because one of the characters is a photographer, and they talk about how he's got the glass plates and you have to sit still for 15 seconds and not move, that kind of thing. So that it's right around that time period. And it's all about the people who live on the river. There's a wealthy couple who lost their daughter who was kidnapped 2 years ago. She was 2 at the time, so she would be about 4. So is this their daughter? There's somebody who's pretending that it's his daughter, but is it really his daughter? Because he does have a little girl about the same age. It's all, who does this little girl belong to? And it takes place over the course of a year. And at the winter solstice of the next year, you figure out everything. And it was really, really well done. It was really interesting about the time period and everything. There are all the myths that go around the people who live on the river and the workers on the river. It was really, really well done. I liked it very, very much. However, it is a wordy book. So you read through everything. You know, it's just, there's a lot going on. It is not action-packed, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm going for. It's not action-packed. It's not fast-moving, fast-paced. It's a slow, steady, kind of like the river, read.
You also have
Really
to
good.
kind of like read every word of the sentence because the sentence structure is so
Beautiful
and complex that you've just kind of take your time with it so that you get the full meaning. And
yeah. It was.
you
I
can't just
really
gloss over stuff.
Oh yes.
So
I loved it.
I've started it. I haven't finished it.
I really, really, really enjoyed it. And then the book that I am reading right now is The River by Peter Heller. You might see it. Didn't plan to, but there it is. And this is about 2 college-age guys who are kayaking the river going through, I think, upstate New York and into Canada. And in the area that they have decided they're going to do it old school. So they left their cell phones at home. They don't have a walkie-talkie. They don't have a sat phone. They have no way of getting in touch with anybody. They were dropped by plane with their kayak and all their gear, and they are canoeing up to another village where they will be picked up. However, there is... it's a very desolated area that they are canoeing through. They have passed 2 other groups. One, a pair of guys who spend their time mostly drunk, and another male-female, a married couple who they hear arguing with each other through the fog. And these 2 groups will play into the story a little bit. But the big thing is, as they are kayaking up the river, they realize there's an enormous forest fire chasing after them. And they have to stay out of its way because it is literally burning everything in sight. And it is jumping the river, even if the river is like 150 yards across, it is still jumping across the river with no problem. So that they have to be, they're trying to beat the fire and everything else that's going on. So it's very, very, very good. Tense, very tense, and not something that I would normally have thought to pick up, because it talks a lot about fishing and canoeing and that kind of thing, but it's really, really well written, so I'm enjoying it. I have about 20 pages left. I'm going to finish it today, definitely.
Oh, cool.
So I recommend that one too. It's The River by Peter Heller.
Okay.
All right.
I've finished one book. It's my second book for the year. I finished The Bear and the Nightingale, but I already talked about that one. So I finished the Once and Future Witches by Alex Harrow. She also wrote The 10,000 Doors of January, which, if you remember, was my favorite book from 2020. Also my first book from 2020, so I find it amusing that she's almost my first book from 2021.
That's very cool.
So I kind of went into this one with a little bit of trepidation because it's her second book that she's ever written. It came out very quickly after The 10,000 Doors of January. And I love The 10,000 Doors of January almost as much as I love The Night Circus. And I had to wait 8 years for Erin Morgenstern to write another book, and she disappointed me greatly with her second offering. So that I was kind of going at the... So I didn't jump at The Once and Future Witches the minute it came out. We've had the book for a little bit. But I loved it. I really, really loved it. It's about three sisters in the 1890s. And it's a story essentially about women's rights and women struggling for their rights, with witching and some magicalness in there. But that's what the story is about, is the, women standing up and saying enough is enough. It's a wonderful book. There's some similarities to The 10,000 Doors of January. You recognize some character traits and that kind of thing. She just has a wonderful writing style with characters, because it takes a little bit of time to really get going, but you're building up the characters and the storyline and putting everybody in their place.
Okay.
Where everybody belongs to hit the climax, which happens about halfway through the book. And then you're off.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
I am going to do that one next.
And I love the three sisters. Her characters are phenomenal. She did the same thing with The 10,000 Doors of January, where it was just you're going along, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, I just love these characters so much, and I'm going to miss them, and they're going to stick with me.
Yeah.
Because some books I read, I love, and then that's it.
They're gone.
Gone from my head. I can read the back of the book, and I'm like, oh yeah, I love this book. But there are characters from The 10,000 Doors of January that stay with me, and these three sisters will stick with me for a long time. So
Okay.
I loved it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
So
A lot.
Yeah, that was a good book.
Yeah.
And I am reading now the Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. The Netflix series is coming out in the beginning of February, so I wanted to read it. It's good. It's Kristen Hanna, so it's good. It's a coming-of-age story. Two girls who meet when they're about 14 and just become best friends, and it's their lives as best friends. And a lot of what you were saying with, children not thinking they
Right.
know more than they do, and slowly but surely starting to realize that, the adults may actually have something to say.
Right.
And just one friend needs the other one so desperately, so that it's just, it's good.
Okay. I'm looking forward to reading that one too.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah.
I'm going to be interested. There's a lot. It takes place in the 70s, and I'm going to date ourselves, but you recognize everything. I mean, there are just certain things that it's just like, oh my God, I'm so old. Yeah. I mean, everybody smokes and the music and the clothes and the whole being a teenager at that time.
Yeah.
The Farrah Fawcett haircut. It's just, yeah. So
Okay.
it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a completely different book from the Once and Future Witches, which was I needed because that was so good that anything close to I just wouldn't want to have it so close for comparison.
Right.
So
Okay. All right. And then do you want to talk about the one you're listening to?
oh, I'm listening to The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes, which was one of my best favorites from 2020, and I completely understand why. So
Really good characters.
really good characters, and it is a very good production. So I enjoy the narrator very, very much.
Yeah.
I think she does an excellent job.
Yeah. Oh, I really liked her a lot.
And you get a good portrayal of the characters through her, which is also Jojo Moyes, but just done really, really well.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I listened to one that was the Paris Apartment, which was a very, very good story. The narrator was terrible.
Oh, she was terrible.
She was awful. And
And it ruined a good story.
right. I managed to get past the voice, but yeah, no, the narrator makes a difference.
Yeah.
So I have not started a new Audible one yet. I have to start one. I was going to on Saturday, but then I was doing a lot of the packing, and I wanted to make sure you all got the right yarn. So,
But this one,
Excuse
The
me.
Giver of Stars, again, because The Bear and the Nightingale was the same way. 2021, it's my strong female
yes,
character year, because
Yes.
these are strong women in a time when being a strong woman was not necessarily accepted.
and then we're gonna wind up with Becoming and take
Right,
on Michelle
yeah.
Obama. All right, that covers it for me.
I think we're good.
I think we are off. We are off to the mart to pick up more dye pots. So running in and out of the mart for dye pots.
Yes, this massive schedule we've put together for the next 3 weeks requires some more equipment.
Yep, lots of tonals.
Yeah.
So, all right, so that is what we are off to do. We hope you guys have a lovely day.
Yes, go forth and read.
Yes, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.